The central purpose of Ndifuna Ukwazi is to build a cadre of young leaders through systematic and sustained mentorship by means of the fellowship program. The goal is to turn fellows into more skilled and experienced young leaders and activists.
The idea really is political education of a new wave of activists from social movements. I think there's been a need felt all over the place for that, particularly for the people who are young in the organizations. They don't know what you're talking about if you talk about the struggles of the 90s, never mind earlier on. And I think there's a feeling across the organizations, and certainly in Ndifuna Ukwazi, that you kind of need that background.
The fellows have done a course in critical English, politics, law and society, current affairs, leadership management and ethics, bit of personal development, South African history, and a trip to the museum.
I've learned a lot about politics because I didn't know what is politics, and I was not interested in politics. But now I'm curious. I want to know what is happening, like in the world, or also like I would say in the country. Yeah.
The activists come from a range of organizations, at the moment all Khayelitsha based. Social Justice Coalition, Treatment Action Campaign, Free Gender, Equal Education.
It has helped a lot because Free Gender it's a growing organization. So some things that we were taught here did help us. For instance, last week there was a guy who taught us about posters, the meaning of posters. So I've looked at that. Then it can help in Free Gender because with our campaigns or whatever we're doing, we always make posters.
I've gained a lot from the fellowship program. Just because when I start the program, I was a little bit scared. Just because I'm going to learn new things, I need to find I do gain a lot of experience. There is that chapter, I don't know what to call it, the women's struggle. It was my favorite one, that one, the women's struggle, 1956 women's struggle. Just because they were fighting for the passes, the rights for the women's.
Running alongside is what we've called critical English. Idea is that, well, many of the activists coming in are extremely articulate, but often rather badly educated, as they'll say themselves. And how that plays out is that you can have an extraordinary discussion about some issue where the group is very clued up, probably far more clued up than an academic group would be. Issues of service delivery, sanitation, the struggle for the Commission of Inquiry in Khayelitsha. But then when it comes to writing, putting it on paper in some way, in English, there's not much of a relationship between the two. And if you just look at the writing, you would really underestimate the activists themselves.
And I've learned a lot because at the end of the day, that program is opening our minds and also is teaching us new things about politics, and also news teach us that we should read, because also they knew there's a library that is open for the fellows that you can just take it and from home and also read it.
I've learned a lot. Just was at my age, I used to say, no, at my age I will never learn. I'm not going to have the energy to do all these things. I need to find, no, man, I mustn't underestimate myself. So I'm happy.
Where to for the fellowship? We'll be able to answer that question a little better, I think, by July, because we're just about to finish off with these two groups of fellows. We've got lots of ideas. I think we can learn a lot from the experience so far. We know we'll be working with more groups within this year. Quite when and how and on what remains to be seen.